is Marketing of Today. I'm Cesar.
And Liv.
Let's go! Welcome back to another episode of Marketing of Today. Liv, this is a special occasion. It's a special day, a day of love.
Yes, it is. So today I brought in a couple that is very important to me, a power couple at that. It is Jaclyn's birthday, of course. So I brought her in, Ann and Jaclyn, today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having
So
us.
I brought them in today because they're super important to me. And not only are they important to me, but they also resemble what a true power couple is. So Jaclyn, Anthony, thank you for coming.
Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about how you guys are a power couple, how you guys are entrepreneurs, and how you guys started.
Hey. Want to start that or me?
We got it.
No, let's rewind.
Yeah.
How did you guys meet?
So we met, it's funny because we're both from Jersey,
Okay.
but we actually met in the city.
Okay.
And when we met, we realized that we actually lived 10 minutes from each other in Jersey.
Wow.
Crazy, right? You go all the way to the city to meet somebody that goes to the same target as you.
Jersey. Yeah.
So that's our joke. But yeah, so we met there. We got from line.
That was back in the BlackBerry days. I had a BlackBerry thing.
Yeah, there were no cell phones. But they were right about cell phones, but we were doing BlackBerries.
The flip phones.
Yeah, right. Oh, now we're old.
BBM, what is it?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, well, exactly. He asked for my number, and I was like, "I'll give you my BBM code." And
No.
like, yes, I did, because
No.
it's not giving out your phone.
Okay.
Kids, that was a phone that you, before the phone number, you used to give that code. Instagram handles for you guys today.
Crazy. Yeah. So that's how we met. Yeah,
And
we weren't
so-
looking for love, so that's for sure. We weren't looking to meet. I was going there to dance and have a good time with my friend.
Okay.
That's it. And I guess
And was that the same type of energy you were going over there with, like, just to go chill, or were you on a mission?
No, it was.
when he saw me, he was in
No, one of my friends. It's funny. When I tell the story, one of my friends was trying to get me to go out with them, and I was saying no the entire day. I remember that. Like I think I was working and just had a lot going on, and then at the end of the night, I'm like, "Hey, you left yet?" And he's like, "No, I did have to drive." So I was like, "Come get me," and I went and saw her, and the rest is history.
Game over.
So my question, me as a person that's single and dating, etc. Was it sparks? Do you always feel like it was sparks immediately and the vibe was there and you connected, or was it something that just grew gradually?
This is gonna sound cheesy,
Okay.
but I just want to make a disclaimer. Like I'm not a cornball whatsoever.
I'm not a
If you know anybody that knows me, just ask them. But when I saw her, literally, I guess this is when you met your soulmate. When I saw her, it felt like everything slowed down. Never happened in my life before. Felt like everything slowed down. I just knew I had to say something to her. And
Babe, you already got it.
yeah, never felt like that before. So I went over and I spoke to her.
We all want to know, what did you say to her? What was your first line?
I don't remember. I know her. I remember her first line.
What was her first line?
She was married.
And I wasn't.
Yeah.
She is the line. She is the line.
I do that all the time.
Because if you just say, "Oh, I have a boyfriend," no one respects that.
Right.
Yeah.
So I assume like you would respect if I'm married, like leave me alone. I'm not.
Yeah.
I didn't care about that. I truly was not beat.
Okay.
I was over.
So
Did
fellas,
you
when
really
you
get a look at him before?
Well, you're in a like when you're not looking for that, you're just not looking for that, and you're not. It doesn't matter how good he looks, how handsome, how his walk was, like things that I pay attention
Well,
to.
she paid attention to a lot of things.
So like that, you appreciate those things, but when you're not in that mode and you're not thinking of that, then it's like none of that matters to you. So it's
Yeah.
like when he did approach me, I was just like, "Look, I'm married and I'm here with my friend for her birthday." Anyway, and I was just rude, but it was just like I really didn't want that. I was like just another guy.
Yeah, trying to do
No,
something. Yeah.
So then what happened?
So fellas, I just want to tell you, when you get shot down, try again. It'll work.
That's just not fun.
Yeah, that's it.
No, he
But,
literally was like,
I
Where's
said,
your ring?
"Where's your ring at?" And I was like, "Good one."
No, I didn't say I was married. I said I was engaged.
Engaged.
That's
yes,
what it
yes,
was.
Yes,
I was
engaged. had a friend right there
You know,
jump
we
in.
just,
Yeah.
it's lady code. Like we didn't even have this plan, but she's like, yeah, she's engaged to my brother. Yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
Come to find out, she haven't even have a brother.
Yeah, you know, that's crazy.
But it was 2 seconds. But yeah. So
Being
she said she was
persistent
engaged.
works out.
I said, "Where's your ring at?" She didn't have a ring. I said, "Oh, you got problems then if you're engaged without your ring on in this club. Because if I was yours,
right?
I'd be in this club with you. You know."
Okay.
And
Wow.
we just started.
Yeah, he did.
You know?
He did a good job.
Yeah, he
A very good job.
He's like, you don't have the ring on? And you're saying,
Wait, there's a problem here,
We
right?
figured out-
right.
we figured this out.
Send a scratch.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, right.
Exactly.
So then what happened? So how did it progress from there?
Yes, where I was from.
Yeah, right. And she was from Jersey. I was from Jersey.
That's
So
And that's
that-
when you said, oh.
I was
Yeah,
like,
right.
I'm like,
So,
I mean, literally
So,
10 minutes
yeah,
from
we
each other. So once I heard that, I was like, listen, you got to give me your number or something.
got at least to dinner.
Yeah.
Like,
She's
you know, I was like, all right.
That's nice. That's
I'll
really
give you my
Yeah.
BBM. Yeah.
That's what I
Right.
said. I'll give you my BBM,
It
but
wasn't a loss though. That was still a win.
You did. So when you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
communication started,
Right.
because of those times, right? You couldn't search for the.
Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I don't even think, was Facebook around at that time?
Facebook was, but it was really like emphases, like you know.
Nobody. She tried to make us sound mad old.
I know, right?
Was Facebook even out?
No, but you know what? Facebook was college level, college, you know,
Exactly.
media
Yep.
platform at one time, and I think everybody else hopped on later.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't do that. When was my like? Yeah, I didn't even do that.
Yeah.
But
All right. So
One
fast
thing led to
forward
another.
to you guys starting a relationship. How did that begin?
it was different, you know, than anything in my past. Like I'm gonna sound crazy. So I wanted to be with him every day. It was like a mutual. It was, you know, so
Mad from each other. You could have been with them every day.
like I could,
Yeah.
you know, like I was the type of person that I would get sick of, you know, like you
want
you
your
date
space.
someone and like I'm used to being independent by myself. So there's no one that I could ever say that I wanted to be in their company every day. But it was different. Like we clicked. It was like a friendship, and we just, you know, and it was
Yeah.
And like Ann mentioned, that's really stood out to me. He was saying how he everything slowed down, lost track of time.
yeah. That's how I felt. I felt like every day was a weekend. I don't know how to say it. I did. I really did. Like I really felt like that.
Yeah.
Like I felt like, you know, how you know, Saturday morning or Friday night, you
Yeah.
just feel a different vibe.
Yeah.
I felt that every day. It was just like, it sounds so crazy now when I say it, but that's how I felt.
So when did you know that she was the one?
Bro. I mean, mine is yeah, I can say actually in those moments it didn't really resonate. But even though like I said, everything slowed down, I didn't really realize what happened until after the fact. And even the we were spending like literally every day with each other, which I've never done before. And now that I'm thinking about it, I've never, you know, thought about that question. But now that I'm thinking about it, even during that time, it didn't really feel like I couldn't say, yo, she's the one. But I just say progressively, like I can't pin it on an instance.
Okay, but was there a moment where you saw like I'm gonna marry this woman?
There was a moment where I said, if I don't make the right decision,
It's gonna lose.
somebody else is going to. You know, like, so it wasn't like I felt like she's too much of, you know, a boss chick, you know, just super down to earth. Her qualities were just like too rare, you know, like, so I was like, you know what? If I fumble this, I'm gonna see her with somebody 2 years later, and I'm gonna be like, oh man,
What is? Yeah.
right, exactly.
Like, and how about you, Jack? When did you know he was the one for you?
I can't say I can't say I can't say like a defining moment where it was like, oh wow, he's the one. It's just that when I noticed how he was and how
What's that time I flew you to Bali in my private jet?
No, you that was it. No. No, it was
That's funny.
you know, it was just like it was just spending time together, knowing that like
genuine
I
connection.
always wanted to be with him, and that was it. And although we had our own space, it was like every day. It was at a point where he was at my house every day. I was at his house every day, and we're like, you know, why are we paying 2 different mortgages? And then I'm like, what did I say to myself?
And you call
Am I
yourself on that
crazy?
one.
Like I caught myself
With
like,
the
okay,
lip
that's
with
a
the
little
man,
much. Yeah, that's a little much. Like, what am I doing? And then I questioned myself, like, that means we'd be locked in. Like,
Like,
you know,
like,
like,
for real.
like, you know, and so once that's when it hit me. When I just felt like we literally, I remember one time we were eating somewhere and then we're like, where are we going tonight? And I'm like, I don't know, where are we gonna go? He's, well, it's closer to my house. I was like, okay. And then I'm like, what are we doing? This is so annoying. Like to keep going in different places,
Back and
just like
forth.
it's aggravating.
Right.
You got close. Oh man, this is at your house. Oh, it's at my house. It's like
Oh yeah, because you were taking things
it's
back and forth.
ridiculous. So then we're
Right.
just like, okay, this is too much now. And
Mhm.
so and then one thing led to another, and I just felt like this is different. You know, he's different. Like he has, I was gonna say had, but you still have it. Like he wasn't so you know, like when you date people, so I guess this is for the single ladies.
Yeah.
And you know, like you have a guy and he's either too rough or he's too sweet. And it's like he's annoying that he's so
Basically,
sweet. It's
good
like
balance.
aggravating. It's like, oh, he's too sweet or he's too wild. And you're like, oh, he needs to calm down. It's like he had the right balance of
Yeah.
both. He really did. Like he wasn't wild, but he had that, like he
A
wasn't
little edge
soft.
to
Yeah, and he
him,
had an edge to him. And then he had so many goals and like his personality and just he was so loving and he didn't even know he was being loving because he didn't really like he was like
Came natural. to him.
extra with it. And but now that I know him, it's like that so wasn't natural of me. It like it was a connection and it just
Yeah.
and it just was meant to be. But never mind that, like just to take it back real quick, because I think this is important. I don't know, you know, everybody's faith, but 7 days before Aunt and I met, I had prayed for a soulmate.
Oh wow.
And I didn't believe in soulmates. So I had spoke to a friend of mine. She claimed there was someone. I said, I don't think that exists. She said, yeah, well, pray to God to send you one and you'll
Amen.
see. And I was like, anyway. And she's like, just do it. And I did it.
Anyway.
And you kind of did the same thing, right?
You making it sound extra cheesy.
I'm just saying. Say what it is. Like, say what it is. Like, people wonder, like, why am I not meeting? You know, I mean, we put God first in everything we do, but it's like, you know, some people just wonder, like, why am I, if you do the same things and you're getting the same results, it's because you're doing the same thing. So
Yeah.
it's something different. And I've never in my life prayed for a
Right.
man,
So
period. Never did. Because who
Wow.
would do that? Not me, because I wasn't looking for it until I had that conversation.
Well, she was representing to me was around that same time, let's just say like 7 to 10 days or 7 to 14 days prior to meeting her. My grandfather that raised me passed, I want to say maybe about like 4 years prior. And I've never went back to the gravesite. And I was going through a really tough time emotionally, mentally, with just life, period.
Mhm.
And it was my opportunity to go speak to him.
Wow.
So I went to the site and I'm talking to him, you know, super emotional. And now that I'm further in my faith, I understand the dynamic from it. Like God brought me there to pretty much speak to him, even though he used my
He
grandfather
used your
for
grandfather
it,
as the
but it was
image.
really
Yeah.
speaking to him. So in that same sense, you know, I was asking him for help. I said, I feel lost out here. I need help. That was my words. And then meeting her, everything's full circle. I'm like, wow, you know, God said,
Beautiful.
yeah, right,
That I
exactly,
needed at that time.
exactly.
So we believe that.
yeah,
That's
yeah, yeah.
beautiful. And it's and also biblically it talks about how the woman is the helper.
Right. So that's why it slowed down, because if it didn't slow down when I saw her, yeah, right, yeah, she would have been just another, you know.
So you guys tie the knot
Mhm.
and then you guys get into business. How did that business, you know, come about? How was it birthed?
So
Well, first of all, guys, disclaimer: they have a commercial cleaning company.
yeah.
And
How it was birthed or about the company? Okay, so how it was birthed was Jaclyn was working, she's done, yeah, corporate America.
Hmm.
I was working for Homeland Security at the time as we were together. And just realizing that you can, you know, really achieve true wealth as long as you're working with someone. So we always had that, you know, feeling
Drive,
inside. And it was pretty much just making the move of jumping on something, which we didn't know what we wanted to do, how to go about it.
So who
We
came
cannot-
up with the
I was
idea?
gonna say, I graduated from Seton Hall. I always joke and I say, I graduated from Seton Hall and I clean toilets now.
Yeah.
But I don't I have cleaned plenty of toilets, but so it's like it's more about the business act.
Yeah.
It's more about what's the word? Like I don't call me water girl. I don't care what
Yeah.
you call me. It's about the result I'm getting.
Yeah, of course.
And so we just knew we wanted to own a business. We knew that the key to financial freedom was us dictating our paycheck.
Of course.
Our work ethic, our attitude, not someone telling me what I'm worth, not someone telling me, that this is your value, like us literally creating our own value and us creating our own outcome.
Mhm.
Right.
And we didn't have like, it's funny because it's not like we had, like, some people are like, oh, I want to own a sneaker store, or like they have this passion and they
Yeah.
know what they want. We just wanted financial freedom and we wanted investments.
Didn't matter
And
what it
so,
was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like whether it be owning real estate and having investment properties there, whether but then we always felt like we needed a business to what's the word
To fund it.
to fund it, absolutely, and other goals that we have that we're still working on besides this, but
Yeah.
you need a source to fund it,
Of
right?
course, and you guys choose a great business because everybody needs it. It's there's so many buildings, so many options. So you're always gonna have business as long as you have the marketing right.
And everybody needs their home clean, and everybody needs their office building clean for realtors.
Absolutely.
The toilet is just one part of it. Then the rest is like,
Yeah. And so I'm like, and not only that, it's like we went from, owning we were going to own a business. We
Mhm.
dealt with a franchise consultant because we didn't know what to do.
Right.
And he guided us to a residential cleaning company.
Okay.
And we went there. We went to the
We were trying to pull the trigger on it, and
almost pulled the trigger on it. Like was about to sign documents, and then
Oh, wow.
his team came back.
yeah, we went to Discovery Days where they teach everything.
Mhm.
How it's going to run everything. They give
Oh, because it was a franchise,
it
right?
was a franchise,
a
yeah.
residential cleaning company.
Right.
Got it.
So as we're just debating about it after we got back home,
Mhm.
because we had to travel to another state to their corporate headquarters and everything like that. As we're home, I'm just like, we're debating about it, and I'm just like, what is stopping us from doing this ourselves?
Yeah, instead of buying a franchise.
Instead of having to pay them royalty for the life of the business. And
I'm usually the more of a
Like
risk taker, but he so was.
I got the support and everything that comes with it, so you kind of it's like a turnkey operation. But I was just like, we can do this ourselves.
Yeah.
And that was it. Once she grabbed onto it, it was it. But it was not easy.
Of course.
No means. Like it was. She would be pep talking me inside of homes that me and her were cleaning, just us. Me and her were cleaning, and I'm at my limit. Like
I'm done with this.
I'm
I don't want this.
like I could do so much more
You had to humble yourself
for this $120. Like literally, like I could do so much better, And she would just be like, "Pull this together, babe.
I'm like,
It's
"This
okay.
is it.
Yeah, right.
okay.
This is not
We're
the
gonna have
this is
employees."
not the
Like,
goal.
I'm selling you the
This
dream.
is yeah.
She was literally like, what's his name? Tom Ferry, Tony Robbins.
But
Yeah,
Right,
you
yeah,
got
absolutely.
it.
No, because he would be like, this is crazy. Why are we doing this? We could be making. And I used to work for a company, and I used to run the East Coast for them, and I ran the retail division for them, and I was making good money. And I'm like, so at
$120.
I would like question myself, and businesses was always my passion,
Mhm.
right? And that's always what I did. I acquired customers for Fortune
Right.
500 clients.
Oh,
So I'm used to dealing with CEOs of companies. And so when Ant really, it's crazy that I wasn't like, I didn't see that part at that moment, but he's like selling me like, you're used to dealing with businesses. You need to go into these companies and you just need to do what you do best. And this is what you do. And then he was my hype man.
He was hyping you up.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, in different ways. And I think that's,
Love that.
and I think truly like the, my opinion, the definition of a power couple is like someone who your strengths are different than my strengths. So it's like what my weakness is your strength, and what your strength is my weakness. And I think that's what truly keeps us balanced, because
Finding that and
Yeah.
mending to that,
Yeah.
not try to step on
like,
her strength.
what he does good, I just need to fall back and let him do it, and vice
So-
versa.
So with that being said, what do you think is Ant's gift in this business? Like, what's his gift?
he's definitely he's so nice to everybody. Like he Anthony's gifts.
Everybody
There's
loves
so
him.
many,
Yeah.
but yeah. So they talk when you become the dog. No, but so
Am I the villain?
yeah,
Yeah, right.
Not me. So yeah, so Aunt is I'm more, I guess, when you come from corporate America, like a predominantly male industry, like just saying what it is. And, not that you have to act like a male. I'm not saying that, but if you want to, run
You have to
the
be
big
tough.
dogs, you better get it together. And
Mhm.
they don't care that you're
Yeah.
female and they don't care that, about
You probably have to work harder because you're.
Oh, absolutely. And I went from I went from industries where it was predominantly men, and then I went from industries that it was predominantly women. And so I've had a little bit of both. But so I'm more cutthroat, I think, when it comes to things, even whether it's with our employees or like, of course, there's a lot of love in our company. And obviously we treat people like family. We truly, even our clients, we customize like we have an emotional attachment to them. And I know that's what separates us from other people, where other people just see it as business. But I'm more like, okay, this is what it is. Let's go. Like let's get it done. And
Yeah.
it's like, wow, they had a situation today. And I'm like, so he's like very good and like, if there's a problem with a custom, like one of our customers, our clients, like he's really good at solution driven
Individually.
yeah, like to fix a situation or to get it done
Yeah, because
quickly.
in your mind, you're thinking is like, this is okay, cool, that happened, but let's just get this done.
Yeah, and
You're trying to skip that through it. He's like, wait, we need to acknowledge the situation.
Yeah.
Let's figure out how to find a solution, and then we can move forward.
Yeah, and it's good because I need to step away.
Yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay, so you got it.
You got it.
Good job. Like,
Like,
and then training and operational stuff. Like you're always like, yeah.
How about you, Aunt? What do you think is her gift?
In the business, it's, sales is her whole career. So I believe that she can sell anything to anyone at any given time. I believe she is very gifted at being in, like, what's the word? I'm looking
Leadership?
for? No,
Under pressure.
no, it's
Man, I
like
don't feel that way.
I'm at a loss of the word, but I can describe it. I go into a customer, a new client, and I come back, I can even have it written. I can have the contract, they're ready to sign. Her question to me is, what do they like? Does he have kids? What's his sports team?
The details.
Yeah, that. So she can, but off meeting someone's relationship building, she is truly gifted because I'm going again thinking of the sale. She's going again thinking about the person,
experience.
their experience, which then creates the sale because they're going to really know her. She's going to be so attentive to where they're going to enjoy their time together.
Exactly.
And then signing is easy.
Well, what she's doing is she's building the relationship. So if another guy comes in, she's showing, this is what I'm different, and this is what we connect.
So I don't know the word for that. I'm at a loss of that word, but that.
But and it's so
and it's
true.
natural to her.
And it's so true in any business. If you win them to price, you're going to lose them to price. So it's more about building the relationship, because if you have that relationship with your client or even your employees, at least then they feel like they owe you a little bit more respect, to even if someone else comes in and they're less expensive but if they feel accountable to you, then they obviously are gonna because they have that relationship. So it just kind of like, and it's truly natural for me. I'm not being fake in any way. It's like I want to get to know people because it's great. We're going to make your place look amazing. We deal with a lot of builders that do new construction, and, they trust us to have these $1 million homes move-in ready where you can put your black jeans in the closet and there's not dust in there.
Exactly.
So that's something that, so you have to build trust with people and you want them to know, like, we're different from these franchise companies.
Of course.
We're not going to subcontract your work out. We handle that. It's us. There's a problem. Our managers are dealing with it. Anthony's auditing jobs. Our managers are auditing jobs. It's not like you're calling us and then we're gonna have to call a company and then they gotta call. It's like that in this industry.
So you're connecting with these people on a personal level, building true relationships. That's what makes you stand out.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm not just gonna say just because but I've used them myself. I think
Nice.
I've used them myself in my home, and I've never had anybody clean. And with Jaclyn and Ann, they are so meticulous the way they have their places cleaned out, and I'm just like
Yeah.
I know there's
Is the
not other
attention to detail,
companies,
right?
and detail is amazing. Like you don't see companies taking that type of so
Because
The way they
at the
train their
price
staff
point,
is amazing.
no, and at the price point, when people like in the business world, they're just looking at, okay, how many houses can I get in one day so I can get the higher return?
Yeah.
If you look at business that way, you lose right off
Yeah.
the bat.
and so that
It's
becomes
about
their
quality.
secret sauce. That's
Exactly.
their secret sauce. That they're
Exactly.
putting their heart, their energy, their time. They're getting, they're building relationships. They're
Yep.
meticulous, and that becomes the secret sauce when they continue to expand and grow.
And it's the vision too.
Yeah.
Sorry. Like it's the vision, like with our employees. I feel like, they say if you have a job, it's just over broke, right? I don't want my employees to feel like they have a job. I want them to feel like they have a career. So, okay, it's cleaning. It's not, you're not working, you don't have this big title. But guess what? We're growing and we're expanding. And just like, I grew regions for Fortune 500 clients. Why can't we do that for our business? Why is our business any different? So, we have team leads, we have management training program where we're speaking to our employees and we're like, you're not just going to clean. Like, you're going to do this for 6 months and then you're going to have your own team and then you're going to be a lead.
And then you
And
get
then
moved to
this.
this area and
Yeah.
control that area yourself.
Right.
Yeah, we have guys working for us that make more than people do in executive position.
Yeah.
So it's that opportunity.
Well, crazy, real quick, crazy, because you guys started this business thinking about like cleaning toilets, and today you're like, wow, we're giving people an opportunity to actually build something for their family. So which
I
is
think that's
amazing.
super important in business also. Like you have to see it as a Fortune 500 company.
You're no
from the
different.
beginning.
Right.
From the beginning, when you have that vision and you already see it as on a larger scale, not like, oh, I have a little cleaning business.
Right.
You already
Yeah.
visualize it like that. You're gonna set the systems in place. You're gonna have the format, and then that's where you're gonna excel.
And it's the vision. Like it's
Yeah.
definitely the vision. I was always taught that you don't play the position you are, you play the position you want to be. So if you're in a company and you want to be the VP, then you better do what the VP does, because you're not going to get to be the VP if you're going to act like the sales rep.
Right.
Mhm.
So you always play the position that you want. And that's even with love. Because let me tell you, before I married him, I was his wife.
Oh,
And that's the truth, because I don't need a title to be that, to play that position.
wow.
Right.
And that's how I really felt.
Beautiful.
Uh-oh.
Now we're getting spicy. I'll be there you go. Right or wrong, babe, right?
Completely
Right?
agree.
Like, so,
Absolutely.
and when people, that's
Absolutely.
just what it is. So I feel like in any business, no matter what your business is, it's like you have to play the position that you want, not where you are now. Because if you think in the now, then you're going to stay there.
You're gonna stay,
And you have to outwork
Makes sense.
everybody.
yeah.
We would be there 16-hour days, me and Aunt.
Yeah.
There was times that we had a builder account very early on.
Okay.
They were building multi-million-dollar homes, and we didn't have one employee.
Just take
So
care of
we
that.
would
Make it to me.
we would yeah,
Yeah.
We just did.
Yeah.
We worked hard.
but we would be in these homes for 2 16-hour days back to back to clean one home,
Yeah.
and it was just me and her. And we laugh at that.
I'm like, well, why are we even trying?
Yeah,
I have to
like,
go back in 3 hours. Let's just
it
sit on the couch
Yeah.
and put a sheet.
But it's things like that every
Exhausting.
entrepreneur will
Sees and works
will
to do.
need,
The grind.
to build your character.
Of course.
And then my employees today, they can't. I've done so much to where they can't complain to me about anything,
Yeah.
because I'm like, there's nothing that I haven't done,
Yeah.
So
You've been through the nitty gritty of the whole business. So, it's
so
like,
from
I
that,
understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
I have done it too.
right. So from that leadership standpoint, that's when it just becomes extra, and the employees respect you more because they
course.
know I'll move them out the way and get it done.
Exactly.
So
The true rags to riches. Like we were in the gutter together.
Yes.
And we still and we still at times like a client will call. We just had a situation.
yeah, emergencies
Yeah,
and,
like-
and emergency flood cleanup of a
Flood
daycare.
order, like
you know.
deep in, and they're like, you guys do that because we deal with you guys. So we figured, Aunt's like, all right, I'll be there after church. I'm like,
Right.
What are you doing right now? It's like, I'm on my way. Like, and they just
Yeah.
and he makes it happen. So, we
Get a team together, get there, make sure orchestrate it right,
so it's
and
doing that shit.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah,
That's
that's amazing.
So it makes a
You guys
difference.
Can be resourceful and just like strategize and throw it all together. A lot of people don't have that attribute to like get their hands dirty and finesse a whole team together, and
Right.
that's amazing.
And this is an avenue
Yeah.
to get to where we want because, we have a few rental properties and, it's about the children. It's about our legacy. So it's not about just today, it's about doing this to get the things that we wanted
So
to.
speaking about the children, how are you planning? Because I know that they're small, but how are you guys planning to instill entrepreneurship in?
Oh, I wish I had the video on Hudson right now. Oh, my
Um,
5-year-old one.
oh yeah, right.
I gotta say.
But instilling that into them, we try to make sure that they understand what we do. Like we go on, 3 vacations a year, so we try to get the kids to see this is why. So when we're working and things like that and they see that, then this is how we're able to do that. So they know
They're
going
not part of the vacation, they're also part of the work.
right. It doesn't just fall out of the sky. We're blessed with these opportunities because we treat our business as such.
Yep.
So I do, simple things like I might bring, one of the kids with me to account just to literally, I might be going there to pick up a check, but I'll bring them with me and we'll act like we're going over inventory so they can see what the guys come, do and stuff like
For
that.
them, they worked with that.
Yeah. And if I did that to one, they're coming home to tell the other, and I better bring that one next time, So,
Nice.
but they go ahead. No, they just know that hard work, is what produces results.
Oh,
What do you guys see for the future, like later when they are of age to be able to work? What do you see for them?
Well, even now, to piggyback what you said, if they get money for like their birthday or like a present or you just started this allowance thing, we teach them what to do with their money. And I think that's real important because a lot of kids aren't taught that from a young age. So I don't know where they think it comes from, but when they get money, that say $100. Okay, so we're going to take 10% and we're going to give that back. We're going to donate that. We're going to help someone with that money. And then we split that money. Half of it goes in the bank because my son wants to buy a Lamborghini. He's 5. So he thinks he's saving for this Lamborghini.
He's
But
serious about
you
that.
gotta respect that he's 5. So you can't say if that's his dream now, then okay.
this is that dream
Because you have to save,
I'm
and
saving for my Lambo.
right. And then we say to him, but is a Lamborghini gonna get you more money? It's not. So you also have to save for something that's gonna, create wealth for you. What is wealth? Like he has questions about everything.
Yes.
So that's how we're definitely helping them
Yeah.
with business to show them like how that all works. I'm laughing because I'm just thinking of what they say. The things they say are hilarious. But
It's an avenue. You're using the Lamborghini as an avenue to for like, okay, that's your dream, awesome, but
right.
save some money. And then, but also remember, that is an expense. You have to figure out a way to make it.
He thinks he's gonna save it when he gets his license. He'll have enough money. And he's in kindergarten. You never know.
You throw it in like
Investing it right?
account or something like that. Absolutely.
And that's what we're looking for. Like your question when you said like the last question you asked. What was it? I'm sorry. You said about
Futuristically, like where do you see them when they're of age to work? Like how you're gonna incorporate them into your entrepreneurship journey or your business or whatever.
right. I feel like whatever their goals are, like I don't want to make, my parents own businesses and your goal might not be their goal. So, your dream. And as much as it hurts and it's sad, it's like you got to live for you. So I think just keep speaking of like vision, what their visions are. And when children do what they see, right? So when they see the benefits of it, Anthony always says like he wants, you say like when they're in college, you want them to have rental properties. Because
I
they
was just
need to
thinking
see
that.
like they need to, we have to set them up so then, of course we want them to go to college. Of course, education is key. We're not taking anything from that, but also they need to
Options.
they need to know like, okay, if I do this, I'm going to get this from, I'm going to.
I don't say like when they're in college. I feel like somewhere between the age of like 16 and 20, we need to be able to gift them a rental property.
Yeah.
To where, you know, they can manage it with us overseeing it. It's truly theirs. And they feel the responsibility of upkeeping something like that
Mm-hmm.
and seeing that the revenue that it generates and how to manage that.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, what does your champion day look like? Like, what is like when you're your best self? What does your day look like? What time are you waking up? What are you doing? What's your routine?
I mean, I tend to wake up, you know, somewhere around 4:30,
Wow.
regularly.
I went to sleep at that time.
Because when you have a business and you have children, if you don't work out before they get up, it's not going to happen, you know. So
Schedule.
that's a normal, you know,
Morning.
so I work out before then, get the kids together, they go off to school. That's a joint effort between both of us. And from school, we head to the office. Obviously, like everybody, coming into emails of whatever happened the previous day. I would say I nurture a lot of customers, clients, accounts, you know, making sure that their management, whoever hired us or our point of contact, is satisfied with what we're doing.
Okay.
It's a lot of ordering, you know, checking, making sure that, you know, suppliers are being delivered correctly.
But what are the key things that you do for yourself so you're your best self in
Okay.
business and in life?
Got you.
Okay.
That will be Bible first, exercise. I get car rides. I'm blessed that I get car rides to certain places. And that's when I get my Audible books in. And I think that just elevates me. I'm constantly getting fed information. I think that keeps me on a higher level and communication with, you know, my wife and the people that I have in place that I can, I'm not going to, I guess one or two or maybe like a mentor, but I don't call them that, but they are mentoring me. Right. Exactly. You know, but yeah, I'm heavily on books, you know, especially any entrepreneurs, you know, you got it. The blueprint. I always say the blueprint is there. Like the people that have wealth, they have it so easily. They want others to get it. So they literally will give us the blueprints in these books. And it's just a matter of you choose to, you know, digest it or not, you know?
Yeah,
So
100%.
who are some of these people that you read, that you listen to? Like, who are your top motivational?
Motivational, that's different. Let me share my number one book though. If you're an entrepreneur, if you have a business and it could be doing well, but you just want to, you know, fine tune things or whatever and go back. Or if you're thinking about starting a business, there's a book called The E-Myth Revisited. E-Myth, hands down the best book on this planet that I've come across as far as owning a business, operating it. Hands down, you got to get that book. I forget the author, but E-Myth. Second book would be The Richest Man in Babylon is one of my favorites. Okay, you read that. Okay, yeah. Richest Man in Babylon is one of my favorites. As far as as far as motivation, I've been an Eric Thomas fan since before he was ever famous. You know, like seriously, like that video of, you know, the you know, meeting the guru down at the beach when that first came out. I'm talking about before I met Jaclyn. Like I was on that. So that had to be like 2007. Tony Robbins, obviously, you know, the greats, you know, Gary Vee they all serve a different purpose. Like I listen to Eric Thomas like music, you know, like a, you know, like a song when I really want to lock in and really, you know, truly just, I'm not going to say pay attention, but Tony Robbins is a different motivation than Eric Thomas. You know, he's given more stats, more research, you know, based. Gary Vee is like, you know, shut the fuck up and get it done. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
No complaint.
you know, like, yeah, right, exactly. You know, so I listen to all of them. They all have their different points. Grant Cardone, have you wanting to buy everything that you come across, you know, like spend only your money on real estate.
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
No, you're forgetting
It's the
stuff.
greats.
That's crazy.
What's that?
David Goggins.
Oh, David Goggins. Now, David Goggins is
He's a beast.
Yeah.
I don't think business with
No, I'm
David
talking about
Goggins.
working.
Yeah.
No,
David
but
Goggins.
he's influential.
Yeah. He
Like,
does.
don't put.
I speak about David
don't
Goggins
put,
a
like,
lot.
he's
Yeah.
like-
Yeah.
David Goggins is here.
I was at- I did my first. She signed up to Orange Theory. I'm not sure if you ever been there or know about it, but it's a fitness place. Yeah. So I go to a class. Yeah, it's a great tool.
But people next to you.
Yeah.
Why couldn't have been this year? I'm like working out.
I go to my first class and I'm trying to absolute like murder everybody in there. And it's
Because
a
you're a
point.
competitive person.
Yeah,
in that
right.
sense.
So it's a point I'm on a treadmill and now I'm not competing with nobody. I'm just competing with myself. And literally I'm running so fast because I'm so like tuned into keeping my heart rate in the red
Yeah.
to where in the red. Like they said the green was, they said the orange was where it's supposed to, but I wanted to keep it in the
Exactly.
red. And I'm getting so tired. And just as my mind is like, all right, you can take a break, David Goggins just pops in my mind.
And you want to go double.
And I'm like, I can't stop. Like he's staring dead at me. I cannot stop right now, like, and it was,
You
So I
got
love David Goggins.
You got a big drive.
Yeah.
So, Jack, you hearing this? I mean, we're hearing this. Was this when you first met him? Well, did you see the journey, or
I've seen the journey. Yeah, I definitely saw the journey.
It wasn't David Goggins, it was Jay-Z, which was a mistake. When she met me.
But we all like Jay, So, yeah, definitely, it's a journey of growth. It's growth the whole time. I see he's growing. We all grow every day, but it's beautiful to see, who we're becoming, and it's a blessing that it's to be better. And, I'm so grateful to have him as a husband, a father to my children, a business partner, because who else would you want besides someone who's striving to be better every day?
Yeah.
Like that's a win-win. It's literally, just trying to be a better man, a better husband, a better father, a better partner.
Yeah, I'm honored. So he's growing, you're growing. Do you definitely believe like people grow apart? Or do you believe that, people, when they're growing and they're on the right path, they go together? Like, what do you think about that?
I wanted that question.
You can give your answer.
Ideally, like, life is a journey and
Mhm.
they're all supposed to be evolving, right?
Yeah.
So what's the glue? Like, are you guys, what's the glue for you guys?
My
Like,
Lord.
Hey, Ren.
That's it.
That's that for us, because we truly put God first before anything.
Yeah.
We're not perfect, but we're working towards being better in every aspect of our life. And spirituality is number one with us. With our children, like God comes before anything in our house and our business. We pray before we go, business wise, like before we go to meet with a client, we pray every time we
prayed in the truck right outside before walking in the
Oh
hill.
yeah, everything we do, we put God first. Praying for discernment.
Yeah.
So you have that wisdom, and you know if you're making a good decision, if you're not. And then working on really listening per response.
good.
Because that was a problem of mine, like praying, and then you don't never just sit there and wait for the response. But yeah.
It's amazing how, like, you hear that, right, Cesar? And, like, you see sometimes, a husband and wife, they want different things in life. And
That's
the
okay.
fact that you guys are growing together in alignment, wanting the same things, is very, like, scarce, right? And I feel like that's sometimes what makes people separate, because you guys are growing, but you guys are growing in alignment,
Right.
which is game changing.
Right. And I feel like, there's I believe that there's plenty of power couples that don't have their own, that don't work and have their own business. But I believe that they complement each other. So if I'm doing one thing and you have a desire to do something else, it's respecting what we both want to do and supporting each other while we do it. That's how you're going to win.
Yep.
Because if you're not and you're selfish, then you're not going to win. So you have to be selfless.
I agree
You
with you.
have to, see what makes each other happy, not only in the business world, but personally too. Like, if he doesn't work out, he's miserable to himself. Like now he's all joy to the kids and me,
Mhm.
but I could just see it, and I'm like,
It's
yes,
different.
you
Just
really
feel it.
need to, right? Like
That's
so. It's like
that's
what,
something crazy because like not all women can feel the vibe of their husband.
right?
You sound like you can feel his presence. You can feel his vibe.
They're connected.
You're connected. But a lot of people
So-
don't have that.
So if you ever see me in the gym after like 3 p.m., you know she felt it, and she was like,
Go to the gym.
Yeah,
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 Like,
she
you
was
got
like,
all
yeah,
morning. Now we have to
right.
pick up the kids and do
Yeah,
sports.
she's like, all right, babe, you could go to the gym. I got the kids, you know. So yeah, it's certain moments like that to where, you know, when you know your spouse, that's something that she picks up on, and she's like, listen,
Or
I got
you
the
should pick up.
right,
Right.
yeah,
Well, what you said right now was complete. I understood it completely. Because my wife right now, we just had a baby, so
oh,
she's been
congratulations,
Thank you.
yeah,
She's been staying at home, and you know, I
It's a full
support.
time job.
I know, right? And she takes care of the house. Everything's on point, so takes care of a lot of things. And one thing that I'm noticing, right, is like I feel sometimes I feel like I leave her out of certain things, but she doesn't call me, doesn't text me because she knows when I'm outside of the house, I'm working for the better of the family, and she trusts me. And then I know that when I get home, I have to be there for her. One, two, she has things that she wants to build, and I'm like, okay, whatever I'm doing here is helping her support that. I always ask her, what is it that you're doing? What do you need from me? You need this? What day you need it? This day? Okay, we'll get it done.
You care.
Exactly, because
right,
both of us are working for the better of each other. So it's like I appreciate her. She's a great wife, and like I can see how your relationship correlates with how I want mine to be.
Absolutely. And it's like it's so important. You know, we might do things different, but at the end of the day, it's putting God first for sure. And then children be what they see.
Yeah.
Like my son falls, my daughter will fall, bang her knee, and they'll pray over each other to make their knee get better. Like right there, like their faith. If our faith was like kids, we would be great. Like
Yeah.
like my daughter will fall and she screams to me, "Oh, my knee, my knee." My son will pray over her, and it's like she's like, "I'm feeling better," and I'm like, so it's just they believe that, and
Yeah.
so definitely, definitely putting God first is big, and then caring enough about each other to make sure our needs are met.
And so how do you
makes
sense Jaclyn? How do you know that she's being filled and she's being poured into?
for me is reminding myself to be present for her. She's a very present being, like in the moment, you know, and I think naturally for men, you know, we kind of
Get busy.
have to be reminded
Yeah.
of that. Like you said, when you get home,
Be there.
be there.
Yeah.
You know, don't think about this podcast. Don't think about no real estate or anything like
Yeah.
that. You know, be there.
Because
for,
we start thinking as men, like we think, okay, I forgot to do this, but if I need to get this done for everything else that we have aligned to work, so you're like, okay, you're trying to be home, but you're also thinking about the future,
right.
and that's
right.
like the tough part, how to turn that off.
Right. And I think I help her operate at her best self when I'm present. And then it takes a lot off of her because we're talking about, you know, a mother first. You know, that's a different job than a dad,
Yeah.
you know. So people can try to say it's 50-50. I do a very great job at bridging the gap to make it closer to 50-50, but a man just cannot replace the need that a child has on a mother. You know, they need me, but they need her differently.
Yeah.
You know, so she's a mother first and an entrepreneur, you know, a wife at that, you know.
Those are
So
great.
me being present, if she tells me something twice, then I lost that. That first, I wasn't present when she told me.
Yeah.
You know, like I heard her, I might have even said yes, but it's realizing those moments to like, all right, I'm doing too much. Let me slow down. Where do you need me? What you need? You know, how can I help you? You know, things like that.
You guys complement each other very well. Very.
Thank you.
What tip do you give to a person like that is single to find the love of their life, to wait for that person? Like, what would you say if you can think back in retrospect, or even just anything? Like, what advice would you give to somebody who is single, who is waiting for their person?
It's funny because where I met you was not a good, like,
It wasn't a good
like,
start.
I don't know. That was God ordained. Like, it never happened. Like, I don't know how that happened, but, I hear from like my single friends, they meet someone and they're like, oh, he does this or he does this. And I'm like, where'd you meet him? So it's like when you meet someone, you think that they're going to change once they lock in with you, but people are who they are. And you have to realize that if you're looking for a person that doesn't go to the club every Friday, then maybe you shouldn't go to the club to find him. Because if you think he's not going to do that now because he's with you, it's not stopping. Like, you know what I mean? It would unless it's like maybe down the road years later because they grow, they're older, whatever. I don't know what. There's some grown men that are still, whatever. I'm not saying like a lot, So I'm just saying like if you want somebody that is, Christian or you want someone that's Muslim, like whatever your faith is, then that should be number one because it's if you're unequally yoked, it's not going to work. So if you're single, I like to think that if I was single, that I would be looking obviously for someone that puts God first, me, and then someone who's goal driven because work ethic and attitude is everything, and that can't be taught.
How about you, Ant? Like, what do you say?
I've been out of the loop so long, I don't know where you can meet somebody, but I would say what do's and don'ts is I think unfair expectation on, you take it, let's just say a woman is looking for a husband and you happen to find a really cool guy, but he might not be looking to be a husband. So when you place that expectation on him and say, why isn't he stepping up to the plate? He was never, like trying to do that anyway. Like, so I think the unfair expectation you just have to remove and let things happen organically.
I don't know if you know who this is, but you talk about Gary Vee, so you probably know Casey Neistat is a YouTuber from New York.
Okay.
So he said him and his wife had a podcast. He said, you know why I live happily? He's like, I never set expectations on my wife. Right. So because expectations are resentments in the making. Right. If I expect something from you, you don't deliver on that expectation. Exactly.
And you set that expectation, you can get let down.
Kind of the controversial one because I feel like you have to set the expectation from day one. Of what you want and your requirements that you want.
Yeah, but don't expect
him. That's transparency.
Right.
That's being transparent.
That's different.
But you're not expecting.
Because if you expect it,
like
do
right.
No, because
you're just saying this is what I want.
Right. I think that's very
come into the relationship, we're talking to a guy, and we're like, oh no, I'm okay with with this, that, and the third, but deep down inside, you're lying to yourself and you're playing yourself because you're now unhappy with whatever, like we spoke about before, like solo trips going away.
Oh yeah, no.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm okay with that. You can go with the guys, no problem. Go away for a week, no problem. But deep down inside, you're not with the shit.
Then you're not gonna be happy.
So then this is things that are gonna come up later on because you didn't set the expectation from day one.
And people are so scared to lose that they lie. Right. They're not truthful to themselves, and then it's false hope though. Then you're like putting this false reality.
Exactly.
I agree with you. That's just you want to be super transparent. You cannot be nonchalant if you have a husband in mind on this date and he has a one night stand on his mind. So
if he doesn't want to get married, don't try to force him to marry.
Right. So you have to be transparent. I agree with that 100%.
To give her a little point, right? By her being transparent, the men should also be transparent. The transaction. That way, none of them are setting themselves with wrong expectations. Because we sometimes say anything.
Right.
A lot of us. I know that when I was younger and I have failed relationships, I had these surface level conversations. Mm-hmm. I didn't dig deep into what I really needed to tell them about and get to the business. Because that's what set me up for disaster. Because I had those surface level conversations and I really didn't dig deep into it.
Babe, I know in the past I've settled. You settle.
Yeah.
And you have different, and I think as you get older, you have different goals and priorities. So you settle at times and you can't settle. You can't. This is real life here. And I think to myself in the past, like, why would I have done that? Like, if I wouldn't have did that, then this, and why did I make this mistake? And why did I mess up all that money? And why was I going to the Louis store? I love Louis. I'm not saying that, but you just, there's people that are doing things and they have nothing. It's like, where's your priority at? And I love all those things and I work hard for them, but there's some type of structure where you have things in line so you could be able to do those things, but you're not putting everything there. You know what I mean? And is it maybe growth? Growth changes
Yeah.
that too, no?
It's you know, when you're getting older, you start changing perspective because when you're young, you're like your son, right? He wants the Ferrari,
Yeah. Lamborghini.
Lamborghini,
Yeah.
right? Sorry. So for him, as he gets older, it's like okay,
Yeah, he's not gonna care. Hey, he'll want it, but I'll be
But
like,
he's
you
gonna be
know
like,
what?
wait.
This will give me more money. A Lamborghini's not giving me more money.
later I'll be able to buy the Lamborghini with no problem.
Exactly.
So it's like you learn.
That's just a car. Like,
Exactly.
It's nothing.
And
Right.
you know what's crazy? Like I see a lot on Instagram the memes and it says, "Oh, you attract what you are," and I don't think that. I think you attract what you entertain. Like you get what you entertain.
Uh-huh.
It's not you're attracted what you are because I mean a guy will see you and she's a powerhouse. I want her and this and that and the third, and he
So-
can be a piece of crap,
Yeah.
right? But because you entertained it,
Now you got what you deserved.
Right,
Because
right.
you
that's
could do-
that was your end result.
It's your
Yeah, I get that.
expectation.
Right.
Even in a marriage, you are gonna allow what you tolerate is what your result is gonna be.
Exactly.
So if you're mad that your husband is not home every night, if you're sad and you're crying, you've created that culture
Yeah.
and you've accepted it. So
Mhm.
now that's what you're getting.
I don't know. You know, like the man doesn't know what you're going through if you're not telling them or communicating.
And
So it's like transparency.
Have these tough
Yeah.
conversations at
Yep.
first. Listen, this is the way I want to be loved. This is what I expect. If it doesn't,
But okay, with I spoke
Nah, that's
Spanish,
some
so funny. But you know, the thing is, the part where me and him, I think, are a little aligned is if you create an expectation,
You can be let down.
you can be let down. But if you create a
How about standards? Let's go.
There-
yeah, you
standards.
set the standard.
Absolutely.
that's different.
Absolutely.
Not fair?
I think
Absolutely. I get your point. When you
This
just
is what I
Can we talk about
word.
that?
Yeah.
when you just
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it outside.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, we have to have standards
Yeah.
because then you can't say I didn't tell you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Shame on you for committing something
Yeah.
you knew you could.
Right.
And that's
If you
part
fit
of
all those rules and then
authenticity.
I made a
Yeah,
mistake,
right.
then
Exactly.
It is part of authenticity. Like this is authentically who I am and what I need.
Yep.
Are we aligned? Are we equally yoked? Are we on the same page? Yes or no?
So then you can continue. But
Exactly.
that's step one. You know,
Yeah.
like so to your point, then you know, or yeah, what you said, like then you know, okay, he doesn't want to get married. I know I want to get married. So right now, no matter how handsome he is, no matter how much
We
you know,
vibe.
we
The
need
sex is great.
stop right now. Stop
Yeah.
right now. Don't continue it because it's not changing.
Yeah.
And I think that's to your point because you knew who he was. You knew what it
They
was.
had everything clear.
So now we're grown. Come on now. Like, and enough is enough.
And that's the thing, right? If you create a false expectation, then that's when you fail yourself because you're like, okay, I was expecting for him to change his mind and he wanted to get married, but
Yeah.
he didn't change his mind. So now what do I do? It's like,
Yeah.
do I stay here or do I go? And then that's where heartbreak and all that part.
And it's so easy for someone who's not single to say what to do if you were single.
You know, yeah.
But
not
I
only
feel like
that,
it's got to be annoying because I'm sitting here like, okay, if I'm really saying, I'm trying to feel that, like, you know, and it's like, all I
like,
think
don't
is,
do it too much.
no, but it's like, as far as, you know, I guess because my faith is so
Yeah.
much stronger now than when it was even before I met Aunt. And when we first started, we grew together, you know, and that really helped us. So it's like praying and
I
that
think
settling.
it's also
I
like
really feel that way.
you know, I see a lot of people that are single and they get into relationships because they're lonely, and you can't. Loneliness is the
No.
biggest problem. You have to be okay to be in your solitude because that's your training ground.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so
And-
I think that's huge.
Yeah.
Two things I'll say to you know, specifically women is you know, the first thing is don't lower your standards. You know, when I think of the younger me, it was, you know, chicks were lowering their standard just because I was the fun guy, cool guy, handsome, or whatever they thought, you know, and it turned into, you know, probably a regret for them, you know, like the next day. But you know, my
Different
second thing, my second thing is women are blessed in a different way. I'm going to call it intuition. You know, women are blessed in a different way. I would say like at least 90% of women already know in their mind where this is going,
Yeah.
and they ignore it, you know, because like you said, he's so cool or we vibe so well or whatever the case may be. But that intuition, which, you know, I see as discernment, is real. Like yeah, exactly.
I
So
know
just
that you
trust
said,
it.
actually, I posted something like that on my broadcast today. I went under hypnosis back in, I think, May. And when I went under hypnosis, you go with questions and the hypnotist, whatever, ask you the questions. And she gave me the answers to the things that I already knew were the answer, but I was suppressing it because I had to make changes based on that. And that fear is what kept me here,
Wow.
and the moment that I acted on what I knew I had to do, that's when things started to change for me. So I kept myself in a box for a while. But when I broke out of that and I said, no, I went back and listened to my recording and I said, no, I have to do XYZ. And I took action. That's when everything changed for me, even
Wow.
career-wise, spiritually, career-wise, everything.
Listen to that.
And you know what you said, you were saying about loneliness and being single, like people get in relationships because they're lonely. I think that is so number one in getting in a relationship when you're single. If you're getting in a relationship because you're lonely, you're going to be married and you're going to be lonely. Yeah. Because you can be married and feel lonely.
You be with the wrong person.
You have to be happy within yourself.
Right.
For me to be good for him and my kids, I have to be happy. It's not up to him to make me happy. It's up to me to make me happy.
There's nothing that he can do.
To
Yeah.
make himself happy.
Yep.
Don't be with me. Don't, your wife is not my responsibility to make you happy. I help, of course. I thank God. But you have to be happy within you first. And correct you. I have to be happy within me in order for us to be happy together. So if you get with someone because you're lonely, that honeymoon phase is gonna run out, and you're still gonna be lonely and miserable.
Some kids.
So, and then poor babies are gonna be lonely because they'll feel the energy and they'll feel that. So it's like working on you if you're by yourself, working on you, like you're a force to be reckoned with. And not only that, I just pray that the men are doing the same thing, because I know us ladies are working ourselves every day. Like a lot of us are. I know I am.
I think
as
in
single women,
retrospect, I look back to the
like think
previous
of your exes.
relationships, and it makes sense that I'm like, oh my God, I got with this broken person because I was lonely and
And you were broke. You attract.
we were both broken and lonely together.
And at times you do attract that, though, because you don't even realize it. It's like, an alcoholic, God bless them, but they're probably gonna, people that do drugs probably is doing drugs. Like that's why you say you're good in the company you keep. You want to be with people that are doing better than you. If you're surrounding yourself with people you're in the wrong group. Like people should be doing better than you. You want to be with people that are, aspiring to be better than where you are, right?
Yeah.
100%. But it's the truth, when and even outside, adding it to business and stuff, right? Even in that realm, if you're not, the people around you are people who are trying to go party, go have fun, go do things that are not money-making activities, that's how I call it, right? You're in the wrong crew, because these people are just taking their time that's so valuable to use it for the wrong things. So, quick question to you guys, as business owners, how are you guys marketing yourself to, be able to connect with your clients?
We just hired a marketing director, and they have a team. They're remote, but they're doing our marketing for us. I think how much? Do you remember how many people was it? 10
Oh wow!
people. They have a team,
Right?
And so they're doing the marketing for us because hiring one person in our office to do it was not effective.
So that's what you did first.
So yeah. And that wasn't as effective, because if we could have 10 people working on it, why would we have one?
Of course.
So
and a team that has proven systems already that it's easier for them to work.
So there's no trial and error. Although with this company, we've had a lot of trial and error with our market. So they've done, with our industry, sorry. So and we just now, after a year, found a niche.
Yeah.
Nice.
We were giving up on that.
Of course,
but on that, but we found a niche. And so our marketing, I'm not a big social media. I don't have the time for it. I love it. I think it's amazing. And I know it works. I truly don't have the time to do it.
You're handling everything
I need
else.
someone else to do it. I think my time is spent better doing what I'm good at,
Mm-hmm.
and I'll hire somebody
Of course.
to do that. So,
And when you guys started the business, how were you getting clients and stuff? Because I know that now you guys have the funds, to hire a marketing team. But
Right.
back then, how you guys were getting to the clients?
So when we first started, we knew commercial was ultimate goal. We knew
Okay.
that, but we just knew that we had to clean anything to build revenue. So we were cleaning a lot of residential when we first started. So literally the marketing for residential was word of mouth. Days that I
recommend pieces.
the days that I didn't have
Cleaning
anything to clean,
Yeah.
I would literally go to developments and put door hangers on doors. Like
Wow.
that's where it came from.
Okay.
Yeah, call builders, things like that. And then once we were able, which was my greatest day, is once we were able to receive a phone call from someone saying, I need my home clean. And I said, I'm sorry, we don't clean houses anymore. Once we got to that point, then we were like marketing, with, like you said, we had the funds, like we had the funds to
Got
be able to hire, someone, which we brought it in-house first. That didn't really work.
So
and
you
then
guys just do commercial.
yeah, we do commercial. We work for builders, so we do homes like if it was like a move in, move out, clean or something.
Residential.
We're not,
But more in the commercial side where it's like
Right.
not clean every
yeah, we're not
Friday.
coming every
Residential.
week, like
all the time. Now we do move in, move out cleans, quarterly
Wow.
cleans for residential.
right.
So we will do
Right,
those.
right,
It's
right.
just not every day.
You see, you saw the better suited for the business, and that's why you guys.
Which there's plenty
focus.
of people successful in residential cleaning
Right.
companies. They do amazing. But again, where's your shunt?
Yeah.
Our shunt is with business.
Right.
So that's what works for us.
So essentially, it was footstraps at the beginning. You go into every single door,
Absolutely.
you put in the flyers, and
Door to
now
door.
Yeah.
now you can literally door to door.
Yeah. 90 degrees out.
Ellie's we still do that.
Yeah.
We're humble. Like
Okay.
we still call businesses, telemarketing. Like we
Yeah.
still do that to this day.
I'll literally be in my office and I'm done with whatever
Everything
I
you
had
gotta
to
do.
do. And I'll literally just, pull up one of our calling lists and just start calling myself.
Wow.
So
And then, today, obviously, you guys have the team. You're finally getting some good work out of the marketing. It takes time, yes. You were not expecting it to take that long, but it takes time.
Yeah, it does.
But I'm so happy, because it's the systems you start putting in place, and now it gives you more freedom to be with the family. The ultimate goal.
absolutely.
That's it.
Absolutely.
You wanna? Who will answer?
We're gonna go into trivia.
Yep.
Do you have the question from the last guest?
You wanna go to trivia? The last. We gotta
Very
go.
Okay.
But we need to start. We need to start writing this. We say that in every episode.
We have the guest leave a question for the following guest.
Oh, I like
nice.
I
that.
forgot it.
So is that to our benefit or no? Was it a good benefit?
So that's all. That's my wild question. Some of them leave some questions that were like, let's just skip this one.
Good, I love that.
All right. So this one is gonna go for Jack. If you can change one thing about your life, what would it be?
That's hard.
If it's hard, that's
Like
good
a
thing.
real thing or like in my
Anything.
mind? Okay.
Anything at all. If you can change one thing about your life, what would it be?
Knowing what I know now, 20 years ago.
Well,
Okay. How about you, Anne? What would the answer to that be?
Mine is super simple. Just give me $50 billion. Like, I don't need to know what I know now 20 years ago to try to acquire the 50 billion.
But would you change?
Yeah, I log into my bank account and it says 50 million.
no
seriously.
more door hanging. No,
But no, seriously, when you first asked her that question, the very first thing that came to my mind was to be able to honor and obey God without a shadow of a doubt. Like, let's just remove the temptation. Let's just remove,
Skip that one part.
whatever Satan is doing, he just can't even whisper it to me. That will align my life in such a way to where, so that was the first thing that came to my
That's
mind.
powerful,
But in a secular way,
Realizing that it's not, what do they say? It's my conscience.
Yeah.
It's not your conscience, it's God.
A secular way, give me 50 billion. But, you know, a spiritual way, listen, let's just take Satan out of the equation and watch how great my life looks.
Yeah.
You know?
All right. And since he answered that so lovely,
Yeah.
well, if you had to leave a legacy, or when you leave a legacy, what do you want that legacy to look like?
Man. That's a dope question. Legacy. I think of my children. Obviously, I think of my children first. My legacy is, you know, wow, this you said to Jaclyn. Jaclyn said, Liv said, you better not cry, you know, and me seeing my children, I'm like, wow, like that's emotional. But legacy, when they see me, when they speak about me, it's just that I was the most transparent, most loving, you know, person that they have known.
Wow.
As far as you know, business, that I would never give up, never stop, you know, to accomplish the goal.
Tony.
I want my legacy to be that I was as positive as a person can be, always seeing the glass half full opposed to, you know, half empty. And I just made a positive impact in people's lives. I think that lacks so much. That's why you have so much negative, so much hate, suicide rates and things like that, because people aren't just being positive to a stranger, you know? And I want people to remember me for that.
Yeah, I mean, Jack.
Chilling, hoping. So it's touchy for me because we lost my dad a year ago. So when you say legacy, I went there. In my not fair. Yeah, of course, my kids are my world, but I just think of my dad and his legacy and things I've learned from him. Like they can't be taught. You just gotta see it. Like the things that I've witnessed from my father, I witnessed with my own eyes. It's really hard to teach that. But I will say my father taught me work ethic and attitude is everything. That 90% of everything you do is attitude, only 10% is circumstance. So I would want when legacy, you know, I think of my children and I would want them to say, Mom was always positive. Mom was always happy, no matter how hard it was, no matter what she was going through. She smiled all the time. You know, things were hard, but she prayed. She put God first. She she trusted in God. And because we trust in God, everything will work out. He'll make crooked roads straight. He'll make it all right. Just have your faith in God. I want them to know, like, my mommy was a worshiper. Like when, you know, you just want to be the best for them. So I just want them to know that, like, that I did, and everything I do is for them.
That's great. Or, well, this was a great podcast. Very different. Very different. Like, you know, and thank you so much for like the words. You guys let everything out. And I think it was the praying, right? I want to bring it back to that where you guys prayed outside. A connection happened between us. And for me, this office, since I came here 4 years ago, I always said that I'm not gonna leave it. There's something in here. There's an energy that God, every time I come here, God always gives me all the answers to all my questions.
Wow.
So the fact that you guys prayed before you walked in, it connects with me because it's something that I take very from this. Is two. I got 2 places, 3, but right now 2. My house, my office, and my parents' house in the Dominican Republic. Those are my 3 sanctuaries, and like God is always in there, and every time I need an answer, there's there. So the fact that you guys, you know, it's really difficult. It's really difficult to explain, but the fact that that's the energy that we're all in today, it's beautiful. And
I get it.
especially for a day like this, you know, happy birthday, because this is airing out on Valentine's Day, right? So it's happy birthday to you.
That's why we're wearing red.
Exactly. So it's great, you know, that's the message that is left behind with this podcast.
Amazing podcast, and thank you for having us. I think one of our best interviews.
I might. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Definitely, this is the reason why I bought that, because I was like, okay, who are like the powerhouse couples
All together,
in
all
my
around.
life?
No, and all
in
around.
my, in my life, and
Yeah.
not just like superficially, right? 'Cause
Yeah,
you see
yeah,
these
that's what I
people
mean, all
on
around.
social media and things like that, and there's a lot of people, and I'm like, oh yeah, on the outside they look like they're power couples, but deep down inside,
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's sad. And so I was just doing inventory of everybody. I was like, they gotta come. They gotta come.
That's
Like,
right.
so important.
Yes.
So
We're grateful.
I'm glad that you guys came and made the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Schedule.
Of course.
Yeah, well, thank you so much for being here, and we appreciate it.
Thank you. This is great.
It was amazing. It was amazing. Yeah.
Thanks.